quiet afternoon begins with a curious idea. A treasure map doesn't need to be accurate to be exciting. The adventurer appears, ready for the adventure in the room. A plan is drawn up with imagination and excitement.
Sir, yes, sir!
Following the map, sometimes there will be wrong turns. Knowing when to stop and observe helps find the right path.
Come on, let's go.
Huh? The treasure seems very close ahead. Not all treasures are gold or silver, but there's still plenty of fun. True joy comes from sharing the rewards together. With imagination, any room can become an adventure.
This morning, Bluey unexpectedly sneezed just as she was getting ready for school. Staying home from school has its own set of appealing privileges. But there was something that didn't quite feel like a normal cold. And so a special guest arrived. Strangely, just seeing a syringe, Bluey suddenly felt much better. Perhaps today, Bluey realized that pretending to be sick wasn't the best idea.
One energetic morning, the two sisters decided to go out and exercise. Sports don't need to be perfect. Just bring joy. And then a new friend joined in. When things get too exciting, things can go a little too far. Joy is only complete when everyone feels comfortable. Understanding each other better is the first step to a fun game. When everyone adjusts together, the game becomes harmonious. Sports isn't about winning or losing, but What about bonding? A little tired, but very happy. When you know how to play together, every fun activity becomes meaningful. A leisurely afternoon begins with simple sheets of paper.
Oh.
Whoa! Not every airplane flies beautifully from the start. Everyone has their own way of being creative. A small race is about to begin. When you spread your wings together, the results are always full of surprises. Huh? Losing one round doesn't mean giving up. When you know how to adjust, things will improve. A race isn't just about winning.
Oh.
When playing with family, the fun is more important than the result. Every time you try, you learn something new. A quiet morning. No need to rush. Things don't always need to be done quickly. And then a special friend visits. Slowness has its own charm. When we slow down, we learn more. A gentle morning when everyone feels relaxed. No need for perfection. Just enjoy the moment. When there's no rush, joy comes naturally. Everyone has their own rhythm of life.
Bye-bye.
Sometimes slowing down is the best way to enjoy life. Bluey came up with the idea of making an outdoor movie theater. The necessary supplies began to be prepared. The movie screen gradually appeared. Bingo helped arrange the seating for the screening.
Whoa!
The outdoor movie theater was ready to go. Bluey checked every angle in the theater. The outdoor movie screening officially began. With just a few familiar items, the backyard was transformed into a fun outdoor movie theater. Bandit decided to spend the morning tending to his garden. But as Bandit got busy working, little mischiefs began to appear. Just a slight lapse in concentration, and the whole garden was thrown into chaos. Bandit began to realize that babysitting and gardening at the same time wasn't simple at all. Sometimes, even the most endearing acts of help can lead to a little accident. But in the end, the most important thing is the laughter and the moments spent with family. A jar of delicious cookies appeared in the kitchen today. Just one cookie. Surely no one would notice. But the more I tried to fix it, the stranger the jar looked. And just then, Chili walked in. The sister's secret had been discovered. Sometimes sharing is always better. An ordinary morning begins with a special journey.
Hey! Hey!
For Bluey, every ride is an exploration. And then, the ride arrives. A little attention makes the journey safer. When everyone follows the rules, the journey becomes more pleasant. A familiar city suddenly feels new. Every journey requires order and safety. Upon arrival, everyone continues their own journey.
Bye-bye.
A short journey, but full of experiences. When rules are followed, every journey becomes safe and memorable. A long rainy day when outdoor plans have to be put on hold. But rain doesn't mean the fun is over. When the scenery changes, emotions change too. A little clumsiness makes a rainy day more enjoyable. When we're together, everywhere feels warm. A rainy day is a chance to slow down. When imagination speaks, rain becomes music. No need to go far, just be together. A rainy day can also become the most memorable day. After breakfast, the dining table needs to be tidied up. When starting out with small tasks, everyone can be a little clumsy. down makes things easier to manage. Observing the correct way to do things helps make the job tidier. Working together makes things easier. Being careful in each small step helps avoid making more mess. Correcting mistakes helps the work continue smoothly. Clearly visible results bring a very pleasant feeling. Completing small tasks by hand helps children gain more confidence. Maintaining a tidy routine every day keeps the home warm and inviting. In the quiet meadow, a small sound suddenly emerged. Was the sound there, or no one was sure? As the wind changed direction, what the ear could hear also changed. Unable to find it visually, perhaps they had to look in another way. As each person did a different thing, the picture gradually became clearer. Unable to find it visually, perhaps they had to look in another way. A typical morning begins with 2 delicious glasses of milk. But with just one gentle touch, everything suddenly becomes chaotic. The 2 sisters try to fix it, but things only get more messed up. And just then, Chili walks in. Sometimes, a small accident can be resolved with a little calm. And this time, the two sisters decide to drink carefully. After a fun play session, the living room looked like a toy battlefield. And perhaps the next cleanup will begin soon. But when you rush, things only get messier. Sometimes slowing down is faster. The competition ended when the room was tidy again. And so an impromptu cleanup competition began. A familiar courtyard suddenly becomes a bustling marketplace. A mini market begins from imagination. And then the first customer appears. When you're too excited, things can get chaotic. When you know how to wait and share, every game becomes wonderful. When everyone does their part, the market becomes orderly. A small market, but full of laughter.
Huh?
When you know how to cooperate, everyone is happy. Sharing is what makes the market more meaningful. When you know how to wait and share, every game becomes wonderful. The living room was a mess. Bluey realized Dad was about to come home. Bluey quickly looked around the messy room. Bluey started cleaning up quickly. Cleaning up too quickly caused trouble. Bingo ran in, helping to hold the box so Bluey could close the lid.
Aha! Whoa!
Time flew by. The room gradually became tidier. Dad arrived home just in time. Bluey had finished cleaning up before Dad got home.
Wow!
A fun afternoon began with blowing soap bubbles. But not all bubbles cooperated. The bubble competition started to get quite chaotic. Chili stepped out and discovered two bubble champions. Just one try. Chili created the biggest bubble. And the result of the competition was that all three burst out laughing. Bandit thought today would be an extremely easy day. Just babysitting. What's so difficult about that? Bandit decided to show off his skills as a model dad. But it seems the toys have the ability to self-replicate. Bandit started to feel something wasn't right. Just as Bandit relaxed, the final blow was delivered. Babysitting isn't easy at all. But for Bandit, it was still a memorable day. The garden had so many plants that Bluey easily got confused while tending them. Bluey decided to draw a map of the garden. The map was checked right in the garden.
Huh?
Bingo and Bluey learned how to read the garden map.
Huh?
The map helped Bluey tend to each plant more accurately. The whole family used the map to tend the garden. The garden was properly cared for. Thanks to the garden map, tending the plants became easier and more fun. A new day begins with tending the garden at the right time. Watering plants on time helps them absorb water better. Knowing when to wait is part of a responsibility. And the right timing leads to the best results. Sharing tasks helps everyone learn how to care for the plants. Watering just enough helps the soil retain moisture without waste.
Wow!
Paying attention to small details makes the work more precise. Plants respond quickly when properly cared for.
Whoa! Woo-hoo-hoo!
Seeing the results makes people love what they do even more. Taking care of plants on time nurtures both the garden and good habits. A messy garage and a cleanup day begins. With children, everything can become a game. Organizing isn't always easy. A little trick to make things clearer.
Okay.
Cleaning also requires attention to safety. Doing it the right way isn't as important as doing it quickly. Working together makes things get done faster. When the whole family pitches in, any task can become fun. A gentle morning begins with colorful sheets of paper. Small letters filled with so much love. A simple idea transforms the room into a post office. Huh? And then, the first postman appears. When you receive a letter, joy spreads throughout the house. Knowing how to organize makes things run more smoothly. Every step brings a small joy. When you receive a letter, joy spreads throughout the house. Huh? Giving also brings happiness. Small letters can carry immense affection. A small balloon can create a whole big game. But sometimes, the balloon likes to fly its own way. Every time you touch it, the balloon runs away. And then Chili appears to help the two sisters. With a little help, the game continues. Perhaps the balloon still prefers to fly its own way. One afternoon, Bluey and Bingo wanted to watch TV, but the remote suddenly disappeared. The two sisters began searching the living room. Chili walked in and immediately realized something was wrong. And it turned out, the remote was just hiding under a pillow. Finally, their TV time could begin. But sometimes the remote likes to surprise people. A familiar morning, when the wardrobe is overflowing.
Huh? Yippee! Huh?
Clothes can also become a game.
Whoa!
A little confusion adds to the fun. But to be tidy requires organization.
Aha!
When you know how to categorize, everything becomes easier to find.
Huh?
Every small task requires patience. When you cooperate, even difficult tasks become easy. Tidy brings a pleasant feeling. A well-organized wardrobe helps each day start better. Wow! When you know how to maintain it, your home is always the most pleasant place. A peaceful morning begins with looking back at familiar things. a little color. And then, an enthusiastic friend comes to help. When you're too enthusiastic, things can get a little overdone. Knowing how to choose the right approach makes the job easier. When everyone contributes, the picture comes alive. A little mess creates memorable moments.
A few minutes later.
When the work is finished, joy is evident in every color. A small task also brings about great bonding.
Huh?
When we beautify the house together, joy is also colored. A fresh morning is perfect for the whole family to do some light exercise. Warming up prepares the body for the activities that follow. Everyone has their own way of exercising, but they're all lovely. Gentle exercise makes the body feel more relaxed.
Oh.
No need to compare because everyone has their own pace. Breathing evenly helps to improve mood. Simple exercise is enough to bring positive energy. Drinking water after exercise is a very important habit. Moments of rest help the body recover better. Starting the day with light exercise helps the whole family stay healthy and happy. A peaceful afternoon begins with a familiar game. Small puzzle pieces waiting to be placed in their correct positions. A fun competition begins.
3, 2, 1, go!
Not everyone finds the answer immediately. When faced with difficulties, help is always needed. Each person has their own pace.
Yippee! Aha! Ha!
When faced with difficulties, help is always needed.
Yeah!
The final result is always worth the effort. In family games, there's no need for winners or losers.
Huh?
When working together, every piece finds its place. A green morning begins with smart cleaning. When starting out, everyone can make mistakes. A small sign makes things clearer. When you get too excited, things can fall apart.
Oh.
Breaking down the task makes things tidier. When everyone understands what they're doing, the work becomes easier. A little surprise makes the cleaning day more fun.
Oh.
When you know how to do it right, things progress faster. A small sign makes things clearer. When we know how to sort and recycle, we are protecting the environment every day. A peaceful morning. A small garden full of life.
Whoa.
But something is no longer the same as yesterday. Someone seems to have visited this garden. The traces left behind tell a mysterious story. The culprit turns out to be incredibly familiar. When someone makes a mistake, it's important to recognize it. Sharing the right way makes everyone happy. When we correct mistakes together, everything starts to grow again. A beautiful garden.
Wow.
Is a garden cared for together.
Huh?
When we know how to respect, joy will sprout every day.